Jets! And welcome back to another episode of The Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys on this beautiful Monday. So, as you guys have known, I have been posting videos of prospects to watch. I've done one on the first round. I've done one on the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh round recently. And all of this is so much fun for me because I enjoy watching prospects and seeing where they end up going and seeing how they do in the NFL. And the late round swings are the ones that I find to be the most fun. But before I get into the episode today, I want to say thank you so much for those who come back to my channel, my subscribers who have been here before. I always love having you guys and appreciate you guys in the Jets Ward. And shout out to those that are new here, whether you are a Jets fan or a fan of another team. I am so happy to have you guys here. You don't know how much it means to me to bring you guys into the Jets Ward. Whether you're a Jets fan or not, you're always welcome here. It is a safe space for you. But guys, I got a fun one for you because what I'm going to be focusing on now, since it is the month of the draft, it's only a couple weeks away. What I'm going to talk to you guys about is undrafted free agents. Players I think aren't going to get drafted, but can still sign with a team and make a huge, huge impact because it happens all the time in the NFL. One of the best ones in recent history for me, for the Jets, Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff on the Jets turned out to be a solid edge rusher and built that up, his repertoire up, to get a big contract from the Eagles. Now, it didn't work out with the Eagles, and they're trying to trade him now, but as an undrafted free agent, he turned out to be a solid player for the Jets and ended up starting a lot of games too and being a rotational player that helped out so much on the New York Jets. But this happens for a lot of teams. They sign players that don't end up getting drafted, and then those players come in hungry, ready to go, and make an impact on a team, whether it's on special teams, offense, defense. No matter what, when they get their time to shine, they take it and run with it. So, I want to talk about some players that I think could do that if they go undrafted. And these are players that I think will go undrafted. It's not because of their skill or anything. It's just because the class this year for positions they play in are so strong. And some of the things that I'm going to talk to you guys about is some of these players that I think could be really, really good. Now, sorry about that. I just had to turn my TV off so that it didn't disrupt the meeting or disrupt us. So, getting into it, I'm going to talk about some of these players, and I'm going to make it bigger for you guys so you can see. And one is probably going to be a shocker to a lot of you guys because this guy's name has come up a lot, especially with the Jets. He's already met with the Jets, and he's met with other teams too. And this guy is Ja'Cory Brooks, wide receiver from Louisville. He is 6'2", 184 pounds. He is a bigger contested threat receiver, can go up and make those tough catches, has a lot of athleticism, toughness. Not the fastest guy in the world, but he's a contested catch freak. And the reason I say he goes undrafted is because the receiving core in this draft is just so strong. There's so many players with similar skill sets that might intrigue teams a little bit more. Does Ja'Cory Brooks get drafted? Possibly he could go in the 6th or 7th round, but I think he ends up being one of the ones who shocks everybody and ends up going undrafted. And the kid's just so talented. And he was Tyler Shoug's favorite receiver this year and was a solid contributor to that Louisville offense. And the team fits. Like I said, he met with the Jets already, and the Jets are in need of receiver help. We have Garrett Wilson and Lazard, and we have Reynolds now. We have Tyler Johnson. But these guys are not like, perfect compliments to Garrett Wilson. They're nice role players. And I don't even know if Alan Lazard ends up on this team. We also have Malachi Corley, which we don't know anything about because the old regime didn't play him at all. But Ja'Cory Brooks could come in and be a surprise for a lot of teams. And the Jets could definitely utilize him as a deep ball threat, as a guy who can go up and make the contested catches. Somebody who can complement Garrett Wilson perfectly. And I think the Jets would be able to utilize his skills so much. Another team Cowboys. Cowboys are looking for more receiver help. They have a solid number one receiver, but other than that, they don't really have much, honestly. And they've come out and said that they're looking for receiver help. Well, voila, you got Ja'Cory Brooks, who could be a great compliment, and you could see him on the undrafted market, and he could go there and be a solid player for you. It could complement CeeDee Lamb so much. Another physical receiver for the Cowboys. And another one, Cardinals. I think the Cardinals could utilize any big body receiver that they can get. They got Marvin Harrison Jr., but they don't really have somebody to go with him. They need another receiver, and they need more receivers in that room. And I think Ja'Cory Brooks could come in and be a solid player for the Cardinals. Where do I think he ends up? I think the Cowboys end up getting him. I think he just fits the Cowboys type of offense that they're going to run. The guy can block as well. He's not a bad blocker. And I think that new regime over there, the offense would love to have Ja'Cory Brooks. And I think he ends up with the Cowboys. Continuing on, though, we get to Cooper Mays. And now, Cooper Mays is an interesting one because he could also go get drafted. He could go I've seen him going in the 5th. I've seen him going in the 6th. I've seen him going in the 7th in a couple mock drafts as well. But he is a big boy. He was the center of Tennessee, and guy is a monster. He's 6'4", 310 pounds, and he is a solid player. Good run blocker. Pass protection he needs to work on. I think he projects to be more of a guard in the NFL. He can play both center and guard. I think he ends up being a guard because he is really big size-wise. He's tall for a center. We have Joe Tippmann as I think Tippmann's better as a guard as well based on his size. But Cooper Mays, I think, could be a steal and come in and be a late round swing and steal for any team that drafts him. And the teams that I see fit him perfectly are the Packers. The Packers are going to want to run the ball, and you can get a big physical guy. And they just lost their center, Josh Myers, to the New York Jets. And why not replace him with a big-bodied guy who you might be able to find in the undrafted free agent market and come in, not pay him too much, and just let him go. Let him utilize his skills and be a powerhouse on your offensive line. I think Cooper Mays the sky's the limit for the kid, and I think he could be really good. A diamond in the rough in the undrafted free agent market. Does he get drafted? Could, yeah. Honestly, all these guys could get drafted that I have on my undrafted free agent market. But these are the guys who I think end up going undrafted, and it's a shocker for a lot of these guys too. But Cooper Mays, tons of upside, tons of talent, captain on Tennessee, leader in the locker room, no issues, no off the field issues or anything, but he's a leader, and a lot of players on that team really rallied around him. And going into the next team, Steelers, they need offensive line help too. And I've mentioned this in my previous videos when I was talking about prospects to them. They need guard help a ton. And they just need offensive line help. Their offensive line was not great last year. Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, both who are not there with them this year. Justin Fields with the Jets, Russell Wilson with the Giants. But their offensive line wasn't good last year. And they were on the run all of the time. Bring somebody in like this. Could he start for you day one? I don't know. I think he might need some time to learn and to get his feet wet in the NFL. But I think he could be a good starter later down the road and could be, like some fans always say, pipeline players. And I love Cooper Mays. I think he could be really good in the NFL, especially for the Steelers. Bengals too. Bengals need help on defense a lot, but they also need help on that offensive line. It seems like Joe Burrow is either always running for his life or injured because that offensive line never protects him. And you got to protect your star quarterback, and you got to do it really well, or they're going to get pissed and want out. And Joe Burrow needs that protection from the Bengals. Get him Cooper Mays, and it could really help, especially on the interior of the offensive line. But Cooper Mays, undrafted free agent in my opinion, but I think he could be a big diamond in the rough for any team that takes him or signs him. Going on to the next one, we got Derrick Jackson, linebacker from Kentucky. He's 6'1", 244 pounds. And he's another one, solid run defender. He can come up and make tackles. He's not afraid to get his nose dirty. Decent size as well, decent size and build. Not the quickest guy, struggles in pass protection, but could come in and be a solid edge rusher or could be a solid run defending linebacker, an interior type of linebacker. And that Kentucky defense, they were solid last year, and this guy was one of them. You had Deion Walker, and you had this guy who seemed to be around the ball every time when there were tackles. This guy, I think, has a lot of skill and a lot of solid play and a good behavior guy on and off the field as well. Leader. And I think that fits with the Jets a lot. I think he ends up being a solid undrafted free agent and can make an impact on a team and show out in the offseason, in the workouts, and in practices. I think he could show out. Jets, I think, are a big fit for him. Jets need more linebacker help. And if you can get a solid player like this that has good experience at the linebacker position, I think that could be solid for our New York Jets. Bengals as well. Like I said before, they need any defensive help they can get. Linebackers, cornerbacks, safeties, defensive line, edge rusher. Any defensive help they can get them. And especially signing cheap in the undrafted free agent market. I think he could be a really good player for any team, especially the Bengals. Packers, too, they always need linebacker help as well. More rotation for that linebacker room never hurts anybody. And the team I think he fits best with, I'm going to say the Bengals. I think the Bengals would utilize him very, very well. And I think they could need somebody with toughness, with physical traits like this guy has. Very athletic and a freak of nature. Solid run defender as well. I think Derek Jackson ends up with the Bengals, signs with the Bengals, and I think that would be a good move. Going next to Cooper Mays, I think he ends up with the Packers. I think that's the best fit for him. I think they need more interior line help, center, and I think he could be a good rotational piece there. But Derek Jackson, solid fit for the Bengals. Any of these teams, really, the Jets, Bengals, Packers, I think he ends up with the Bengals, though. And continuing on, we got Elijah Alston, edge from Miami. He is 6'2", 256 pounds. He's a bigger guy, but he is athletic as heck. He is a freak athlete, but hasn't been playing the position too long. He is somebody who's bendy, who's twitchy, not good in run defending though, but solid. He's okay with pass rushing. He needs to work on his techniques and movements. When he gets caught, he gets stood up really easily. He always has high pad level as well. Great speed, but needs to work on technique and staying low and working on a power move and a speed move as well. More of a power move. But team fits that I think. Bengals, welcome back. It seems like you're going to be a recurring one in this episode today. But Bengals, defensive help. Derek Jackson, I just said, would be a perfect fit for them. I think this guy would be as well. Could be a late round find for them. Rotational defensive edge rusher, defensive lineman. Could be a good fit for them. Eagles as well. I see him being like a Bryce Huff, just a bigger version of a Bryce Huff. That bendiness, twitchiness off this edge. A role player on a defense. I think he could fit really well with the Eagles. Bills too. The Bills didn't really have a lot of weaknesses. Their defensive line, their edge rushers. They just lost Von Miller. I think they could use younger edge rushers, in my opinion. And I think Elijah Alston could be solid for them. Where do I think he goes? I think he does end up with the Buffalo Bills. I think that seems like a perfect fit for him. I think they would love his speed and just aggressiveness on the edge. Not going to help you in run defending, but in rushing the passer, I think he could be really, really good for them. Bigger guy, strong. I think he could be a solid player for the Bills, and that's where I think he ends up going. Next, we got DJ Uiagalelei, QB from FSU, from Florida State, Seminole. Undrafted free agent. He is 6'4", 229 pounds. Great size for a quarterback. And this was a guy that I've heard of for a while now. Has a lot of great techniques. Not the strongest arm in the draft, but somebody who I'm shocked isn't going a lot higher. He is somebody who has a good arm. Okay arm. He doesn't have the strongest arm. Will not throw the deepest of ball. He reminds me of Chad Pennington, really. Pennington was accurate as heck. Solid player. And DJ is somebody like that as well. He's good accuracy, more of a pocket passer, can move out, not the quickest guy, prefers to be in the pocket, but can move out if he needs to. And just great size for a quarterback. Can be inaccurate at times. Footwork when he's pressured can be sporadic. But in all honesty, when you're in the late rounds, especially undrafted free agency, you take risks on quarterbacks, especially a guy like this who has the skill level, who has the size that this guy has. He reminds me of a Chad Pennington, not the strongest arm, but he's great at reading defenses. If anything, he's really good at reading defenses and schemes and can call out plays. He's good at looking down and checking down and looking at his options. He's never just going to lock onto one guy. He's going to look at his options, which is really good. And his processing speed as a quarterback, very solid too. That's why I'm shocked he's not higher on a lot of people's lists. Big size, great at processing. Not the most athletic, but he can move around a little bit. And he's got a decent arm. Okay arm, accuracy. I'm shocked about him not being higher, especially with all these traits that I'm telling you guys about. But again, fits that I think he could go to. Lions, I think Hendon Hooker, I don't know how long he's going to be with the Detroit Lions. And somebody who can come in and sit right behind Jared Goff, because you don't know how long he's going to be there for. This guy comes in and learns behind him and works with Dan Campbell and John Morton as their offensive coordinator now. I think this guy could be the limit for this kid. And he could shock a lot of people. I really do. I think he could end up being solid. A late round steal, a solid backup for years to come. I think the Rams, too, he fits the same size profile as a Matt Stafford as well. And McVay, like I said in one of my previous videos, McVay can make any offensive player work, in my opinion, in all honesty. And he can work with this guy. And I think he could turn him into something. A spot starter if needed. Could be a good backup quarterback for years to come. And the Jets. The Jets need quarterback help. Why not take a swing? I don't know if you draft one. Take a swing on a guy in undrafted free agency. Bring this guy in and see what he can do to push Tyrod, to push Justin Fields, to push Jordan Travis. Bring this guy in and see what he can do. And I think the sky could be the limit for this kid if everything clicks right for him. I really like DJ Uiagalelei. I think he could be really, really solid. And I think, where does he end up? I could definitely see him with the Rams, honestly. That offense, I think, would be tailored to him. Pocket passer, able to throw deep, got receivers there, can make these short, accurate passes, can read defenses really quickly. I think that could be a solid offense for him, and they can make an offense around him to fit him perfectly. Going on to the last guy, and continuing on, in my last video, I said there were two kickers that I think are really, really good in this draft class, two of the best in their position. The one I ended up having, Andres Borregales, going in the 7th round. I think he's the best kicker in the draft. But Ben Sauls is not that far behind. Kicker from Pittsburgh. He's 5'10", 185 pounds. Strong leg on this guy. I think he could come in and start day one as well as a kicker for any team. And, well, not any team, but the main teams that I could definitely see him starting for. The Jets, Greg Zuerlein, I don't think is long for this team. I think we need to hammer down the kicking position and get somebody in there who we can trust. And if it's not Borregales, it's this guy. I think he could be solid for the New York Jets. Ravens as well. I think they definitely need a kicker after what their other kicker is dealing with this year or this past season. So he could go in and start for them as well. And the Niners, I mentioned in the last video too, these were the 3 teams that I think need kicking help the most. And this guy could come in and compete and start for these teams. But guys, these are my undrafted free agents that I've been focusing on. Let me know what you guys think. If you think that, Ryan, there's no way these guys go undrafted. They're going to get drafted because of the talent that they have. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I'm always happy to hear from you guys. And let me know, do you think the fits that I had for them are good, or do you think they fit better with other teams? Let me know what you guys think. I always love having you guys. Reminder, I'm going to go live for the opening night of the draft. If it goes well, I will be going live for the second day and third day as well. But I'm excited to see you guys there. Please join me. It's going to be a fun time. I'm really, really excited for it. And again, guys, thank you so much for joining me in the JETS Jets Ward. Have a great rest of your night.